Very often in life, we come across situations where we are met with the unforeseen circumstances that require us to be creative. The same thing that happened in 1912 in the original story of the Titanic is the same thing that happened through the Umlazi Titanic, which is a narrative that I was speaking about. If you can remember very well how this project of Umlazi Titanic started, it was started by this character or guy by the name of Umlazi, who is our main character in the story, and he was a politician at the time. He is a member of a movement or a political movement called Transfer Gotham Congress, which was a political movement that was viable and doing great things, unlike other political parties that existed at the time. And let's dive more into how this Titanic came to being a disaster for people. Because you must remember, in the original Titanic, things started smooth to a point where once the ship started to hit the iceberg, that's when everything turned into chaos. Now, Umlazi and Ntando, it was during the holidays. Ntando was on leave as a medical doctor, having his own practice. So he decided to go on leave to Cape Town with Ntando. So instead of taking the flight, they boarded the Umlazi Titanic. And upon the Umlazi Titanic, they settled in first class, where they were met by other prominent business people of all walks of life, children going up and down, like there was order. The life in the first class was so beautiful compared to life in the second class and the third class. Now, the third class was usually reserved for people who were not that wealthy in terms of money, just ordinary people, and the meals and the service there was not as profound as that one of first class and second class. Now, they dined together, they had fun. It came to a point where Umlazi was so impressed with the support that Ntando was giving him as his lover. So he decided to propose him in the Umlazi Titanic. And Ntando could not resist. He said yes to the proposal to say, I'll be your husband through thick and thin, because we've been together through good and bad times. Umlazi said it's time that he's going to actually involve his family in the matter, to say this is his person. But then coming out, the journey was not going to be an easy one, especially with the father, who is a traditionalist, who's expecting a Makoti to come home and grandchildren. The next thing you tell them that, hey, you are homosexual, it's going to cause a bit of chaos. So he decided not to divulge to the family. However, he had to be smart. But he proposed, and then they decided that they're going to do a private engagement ceremony, which they did, and enjoyed themselves in the Umlazi Titanic in the first class. Now, there came a point where Umlazi had to attend meetings in the Umlazi Titanic. He had to leave Ntando because Ntando was not business orientated, but he had business sense. He was in the medical field. And then Ntando decided that he needs to go and stretch his legs and see other decks of the Umlazi Titanic, since it was owned by his fiancée. And going there, second class, he met people. He was not impressed with what he saw. And then he went to the third class, where he met a guy by the name of Dwayne, who he liked. And Dwayne was quickly able to spot Ntando that, Ntando is from first class, of the way he was dressed and the way he smelled good and his etiquette and how he conducted himself. And then Dwayne decided to invite over Ntando and then show him how in the third class things are. And Ntando was not impressed with the service of the third class. So he actually informed the guy that, do you know that my fiancé is actually the one who's in charge of the Umlazi Titanic? And I am going to talk to him so that we can make a situation better for everybody, because people are paying a fare that is fair for everybody. So it would be unfair for first class people and second class people to be treated in a manner that is unique or of top notch, while the people in the third class are actually struggling. So they had to come up with a method on how is it that the Umlazi Titanic had to improve the people's life. So they sat down, discussed it over wine and drinks. So what was fascinating to Ntando was the fact that he had a bond with that guy, because they were able to talk together. There's always that person in life who you always have to confide into, who understands you, who doesn't question everything that you say. So Ntando had the opportunity and the privilege to have exposure to that particular person, Dwayne, and they two had to bond each other and exchange contacts and communicate with each other, had a bond. So every time Ntando woke up in the morning after their morning routine going to his meetings, Ntando quickly slipped into a third class and had to see Dwayne, and they had to become intimate at some point, which they kept it a secret. Because now Ntando was engaged to be married to Mlazi. So Mlazi, if he found that, he was going to call everything off. So it was going to cause chaos for the relationship. So Ntando had to be smart not to divulge any information to Mlazi at all. There came a point where, while they were busy doing the same routine, while Mlazi was going to meetings, Ntando was sneaking out. The Mlazi Titanic hit an iceberg. As it hit an iceberg, things became chaotic. Water started to get into the sterns. The people that were operating the engine decided to alert the officers and the captains to say, we're having a problem, the ship is under threat. They tried to use whatever vessels or draining pumps to drain up the water. Fortunately, it was too late. The Mlazi Titanic was starting to sink just before it reached the Cape Town harbor. Quickly, the engine staff and the captain and the deputy captain alerted the Seashore Titanic to come to the rescue, and the Seashore Titanic received the signal, and then people had to be put on life jackets. The same situation that they went under or through the Titanic. And the good part is that nobody at least died in the founding of the Mlazi Titanic. People just lost their assets. They had to be driven out immediately, and the sea was very chaotic. And they didn't understand that a mighty grand ship like Mlazi Titanic, how can it sink? It's been traveling all this time. Why in this particular trip this is happening? Mlazi was in his office at the time, or at the boardroom. So when the scene happened, he couldn't quickly rush to find Ntando. So Ntando had to scrabble his way out. Fortunately, he was with Dwayne, and then Dwayne had to accompany him and assist him until a point where, while they were rescued, looking for each other, and Mlazi came on board searching for Ntando. He called the officers since he was the owner of the ship, and then he was given first preference of rescuing amongst other people as the VIP guest. The others received second class service. So he made sure that looked for Ntando. He actually found Ntando, and they went into a safe house where they wrapped themselves with blankets and drank coffee. And Ntando made sure that while everything was in order, he had to communicate with Dwayne so they can rekindle and build their relationship and memories. Now, what is it that we learn from this story of the Mlazi Titanic? There are people in life who are ungrateful of the beautiful things a person is doing. You have a situation where, like in the Mlazi Titanic, the opposition parties were actually jealous of Mlazi Titanic. They wanted to nationalize Mlazi Titanic. So there was a meeting in Parliament that was held, which Mlazi had to go to and actually oppose the idea of Mlazi Titanic being nationalized, because it was his brainchild under his leadership at the time as executive mayor. And he was the one owning it together with other several projects. They, as a state, failed to execute projects of their own. They became jealous because Mlazi is Zulu to start with, and then the fact that he was able to come up with a massive project that actually generates more income. They, as ruling parties, wanted to own the project, loot the funds of the project, and not actually make sure that the project is as per ethos as it is. So you can see how the corruption system is. So what is it that we're teaching members in this video and this scenario is that greed is never an ideal weapon. Because if you are going to bark at the moon as a dog, what worries the moon when the dog barks? And then tit for tat and butter for fat, but honey makes the music. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never hurt me. So I think it's important that people need to know that no matter whether your Titanic is sinking, there's always hope. No matter the dreams and aspirations that you want to achieve, there's always that rescue boat that is going to come and rescue you. Yes, it's painful because now you're sinking. Yes, it's painful because you're seeing the reality of death knocking at your door, but it is not yet your time. Your God and your gods are not going to allow you and your guardian angels to sink, and not going to allow you to die a premature death. But a rescue boat like Seashore Titanic is going to come and rescue you, and you are going to write in the books of history that I was met by a wave or a Titanic scene or the boat that I was in. It can be Umlazi Titanic, can be Financial Titanic, Life Titanic, whatever form of Titanic. When I tried to sink, then there was a rescue boat that came to my rescue.